of MAGA folks are not thrilled about this idea of hundreds of thousands of foreign students in the United States. We have about 350,000 Chinese. At one point during COVID, you were going to, push to, get them out, but that was pulled back. You've said as many as 600,000 Chinese students could come to the United States. Why, sir, is that a pro-MAGA position when so many American kids want to go to school and there are places not for them, and these universities are getting rich off Chinese money?
Sure. Never said about China, but we do have a lot of people coming in from China. We always have, China and other countries. We also have a massive system of colleges and universities. And if we were to cut that in half, which perhaps makes some people happy, you would have half the colleges in the United States go out of business.
So what?
Well, I think that's a big deal.
Are they fans,
you would have the
fans of the United States?
Yeah, but you would have, as you know, historically, black colleges and universities would all be out of business. You would have a system of colleges and universities would go down the tubes.
So we're dependent on China to keep our university system going?
But I think it's good to have, I actually think it's good to have outside countries. Look, I want to be able to get along with the world.
They're not the French. They're the Chinese. They spy on us. They steal our intellectual property.
What, do you think the French are better?
Yeah.
I mean, really? I don't know. I'll tell you, I'm not so sure. We've had a lot of problems with the French, where we get taxed very unfairly on our technology, where, they put 25% taxes on American products. Look, assuming everyone treats us badly, because that's the way I am, but we take in trillions of dollars from students. The students pay more than double when they come in from most foreign countries. I want to see our school system thrive, but at the same time, I know you and I disagree. We're never going to agree on it, but that's okay. And it's not that I want them, but I view it as a business. We have millions and millions of people. Also, I want to get along with countries if possible. People are shocked. Remember, Hillary Clinton said, we'll be in a war. I stopped 8 wars in the last 9 months. I don't want to be in wars. If I am in a war, we're going to win the thing fast, and it'll be violent. But you know what? I don't want to be in wars. But one thing, you don't want to cut half of the people, half of the students from all over the world that are coming into our country, destroy our entire university and college system. I don't want to do that.
I wouldn't lose any.
And don't forget, MAGA was my idea. MAGA was nobody else's idea. I know what MAGA wants better than anybody else. And MAGA wants to see our country thrive.
Okay. Shalom, shalom. Kwam Yasha'Allah. Koholoim la Yahweh. Bahashim Yahweh Shai. Bahashim Kahakodash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. And by the Spirit taught us this beautiful truth. I just want to say the water toward the H.I.M and Akwaf that's out here sincerely keeping the laws, the statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai to the best of their ability. This is Yachanan Nawaf, just coming at you with another quick lesson. Praying that it's edifying by the Spirit. And there's a few things we can get out of what this guy said. Because first off, you have been saying, this has been since I was growing up. China is this enemy. They steal all the, information. They bootleg every goddamn thing. They're stealing all your technology. They're doing this. They're doing that. And this is one of your main top enemies, right? Main top enemies. But they allow up to almost a million of them to come here to the country, go to these universities and steal more of your fucking information and go back to China, build bombs, build, because they not coming here just on no regular bullshit type of educations that they be getting. They do spend money, and they're pretty, those Moabites. That's the biblical name for the so-called Chinese. They are pretty intellectual because they don't have no physical, nothing going on. You know what I'm saying? I haven't seen anything physical out of any of them except for like maybe Yao Ming. Hell, Yao Ming, he probably an Israelite. But overall, they come and they go to these schools, top universities. They have the money to actually go and they get the information that they need from these universities. They go back to their countries and they set up shop. A lot of them, they stick around here. Now, mind you, you just had a few, it was something that was caught at the airport with some funguses or like some fucking, bio diseases or some shit like that, but Esau, he's not sending ICE to their neighborhoods, if you notice. So this is 2 Corinthians 2:11. lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. See, we're not ignorant of the fact that he wants to get rid of the Israelites. It's just more proof that the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are the Israelites. He's not sending ICE to no Iranian neighborhoods. There's plenty of Iranians that live here. There's plenty of Palestinian Americans that live here. You know. Now he's talking about disrupting. We don't want to disrupt the universities, but okay, you just put funding cuts, or basically held back, or you know, pretty much told these universities that were supposedly anti-SIM that if they didn't change their thoughts and their ways on how they treat those people that's over there in Israel, like these people can't protest. They can't. Matter of fact, you arrested a bunch of these people that was out here legally, you know, protesting. Wasn't no violence to the protest, none of that. It was just that they were speaking against Israel, and okay, and all of a sudden, you know, you're arresting young people. You know, so you're not or adamant about those Palestinians that was like free Palestine that was going to the universities, because that's mainly where a lot of those protests was at. That made a big deal. You know, you cut off into those universities. You was talking about keeping back billions of dollars, and you know, you still got some of these universities still trying to, you know, come out of, you know, that particular situation, because, you know, and there's a lot of money that goes into it. Now, mind you, here you go, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. We put in taxes into shit that go into those universities, but we don't get a chance to go to those universities like how the other countries do, you know, or the other ethnicities do, rather. You know, you notice he mentioned HBCUs, historic black colleges. Well, who's coming to these historic black colleges? Ain't no Chinese people visiting those, going to those colleges. They're going to the so-called white universities. You might have a nigga from Nigeria, or, you know, somebody from Ghana or some, you know, they come here and they, you know, but we even know that they giving them hell. They giving those people of color hell to get in here, to come into this country and learn anything. But the thing of it is the scripture says to never trust thine enemy. And here you go, you're placing your enemy at the top over your own people. And you don't think these Edomites are seeing that? These Edomites pissed. He talking about, I came up with MAGA. I know what MAGA wants better. Well, when you was campaigning before and you had fooled MAGA into thinking that, you know, they were, you know, this special people. Now they're starting to see that you want some bullshit. So you don't know what MAGA want. You think these Edomites with the red hats on that live up in the damn hills want these so-called Chinese people coming in here over their people getting these university spots? You crazy. So he done lost. He ain't never had it anyway, but he done he done pretty much lost his base, man. This is Sirach 12 and 10. Now you think those so-called Chinese? Hey, it's not like China don't have no good universities over there in China. Shit, China, they just come here to. Why do you think they come here? They come here to get your tech. They come here to steal your fucking ideas. They come here to get whatever they can get. You know what I'm saying? They coming to see. They're pretty much like agents, man. You know? Ain't no so-called white people. Don't get me wrong. It's so-called white. They go to China. But it's not like how, you know, they come in here in droves. But the point that I wanted to make is that here you go. You have one of your main top enemies in the world, where you're talking about World War III. You've constantly been talking about missile this, missile that, and the military parades going on, this, that, and the third. They're taking over Taiwan. Taiwan is an ally to America and all this other little shit like that. You traveling to all these, you know, these Asian countries trying to get people to come up against China overall. But yet you'll let 600,000 of them motherfuckers come off in. Boy, I tell you. But see, them Chinese, they don't trust you like that. You're not coming in there in droves. You think that 600,000 white Americans are going into China? You crazy? You don't see no so-called white people in the Chinese military. There's no so-called white people in China's government. They know to not trust your ass, right? So this is Sirach 12 and 10. Never trust thine enemy, for like his iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. This is what we try to tell you Negroes. You so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans that's so in love with this man. You feeling like you're an American. You want to get into the army so you can go and fight against places like China. Because China is the enemy. But here you go, this motherfucker is your enemy. And you joining up with the enemy to go fight some other motherfuckers that don't give a fuck about you. None of them care. Right? And though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him. And thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust have not been altogether wiped away. You don't think these Chinese people, they understand the Edomite. They understand your nature. They know that you don't keep treaties. Anytime they dealing with you and y'all have a conference, they side-eyeing you, man. They like, as soon as your ass leave, it's all a front for TV. As soon as you leave, they like, nah. They don't trust you fucking so-called white people here in America. But you so damn doofy. This is how far they fallen off. This is how we know that Esau is the end of the world, man. His kingdom is dwindling when you allowing shit like this. It's all business. What about the national interest? What about the defense of the country? If you know that these people are clearly your enemies, why would you allow those amount of students to come off in here? This is 2nd Ezra 6:9. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. So his world is ending. Our world is beginning. See, these Chinese, they're working hard to be the next power of the planet, but it's not going to be them, man. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be the children of Israel, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. And that may sound crazy. And you know what? That's the beauty of it. That's the strangeness of our salvation. The beauty of it is that how them niggas come up like that? Them niggas ain't even got no military. You know how these countries going to be looking, man? Well, we on top of the asses, man, with all the might that they have physically right now. But the point that I wanted to make in this video is that you can clearly see they're after the Israelites. They have a perpetual hatred for the Israelites. They're not concerned with their main enemies. Because these are your enemies for real. Niggas been here in this country. And so-called Hispanics, Latinos, hey, niggas just, they try and make it seem like we're just most the violent people on the planet. But most of us, we just getting up going to work. Laughing, giggling, trying to make you feel secure and trying to make you feel good in your habitat. Because that's what Jake be doing. Jake go to work, man. You throwing a phony-ass voice. You're throwing the phony-ass smiles. You know what I'm saying? You trying to make them feel secure in their own areas. You know what I'm saying? That's all Jake do. Go and try and get their little money and get the fuck on. But this man is acting as if you got a bomb. They acting as if you got missiles. They acting as if we got, nuclear weapons and shit like that to hit the asses with. We ain't got shit. We just going to work. But your enemy, you will allow your enemy to come in the country while you pushing out the very people that pick the fruits and vegetables. The people that's building up your country. The people that actually built this place up where you can even call it America and for America to even be the powerhouse that it is today. Crazy, bro. Crazy work. But you know what? It's all beautiful because this is the Lord taking away that wisdom. Taking away their smarts, man. Ezekiel 35:5. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord God, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Since thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. And this is what's coming to you Edomites, man. You are here bombing the Venezuelan boats. You trying to infiltrate Venezuela, which is our people as well. You don't like the Cubans. You don't like the, you know what I'm saying? Or, So your whole mindset is stuck on us. In the meanwhile, your enemies is coming up on you. It's crazy. Crazy, bro. Your enemies is coming up on you while you so focused and concerned on niggas, man. Jake ain't doing nothing, man, but dunking a basketball for you motherfuckers, throwing a football, entertaining you, keeping your bread and circus going. But you were so focused on Jake, man. And that lets you know that we're the Israelites. So I'm going to end out there. Hey, this is not going to go well with Esau, man. And see, Trump, when him sitting on TV and saying stupid shit like this out of his mouth, his mega base is looking at him like, nigga, what the fuck you doing? Where's the America First at? Then you say you were going to make America great again? How does this make America great again by you bringing in 600,000 Chinese students, visas? You know what I'm saying? And it's clearly backlash to it, but he's still going to do it. So you megas have been duped. He's taking your food stamps away. Your government is shut down. He's talking about Oh man, he's building ballrooms and shit, man. It ain't got nothing to do with you Edomites that went out and voted for this guy, man. And we love seeing you look doofy, man. So I'm gonna end out with that. Pray that the lesson was edifying. Kwame Allah and a Baba Bull.